Jean Lafitte National Historical Park and Preserve has 6 sites that are scattered across southern Louisiana whose mission is to protect the natural and cultural resources of Louisiana's Mississippi River Delta region. Each is unique in its focus, and they all reflect a place where traditions can be generations old, but the ground under your feet can change with the weather. The park sites share the story of a place where change is the only constant, from the waterways that shape the land in new patterns every day to the never-ending balancing act between old ways and new ideas. The presentation begins with a musical interview with Jenessa Nelson, which is interspersed with videos from a blues band. Additionally, historical photos are presented of her mother, Betty Nelson, as well as video footage of Port Allen, Louisiana. Following the interview, the Director of Interpretation for the West Baton Rouge Musuem, Kathy Hambrick, gives a synopsis of the program, Rural Roots of Music, showcasing all the artists that have appeared in the series. We hope that you enjoy this special presentation.
I've been raising all these kids all by myself. You ain't doing nothing but sitting around with Tyrone. Tried my best to love you, did everything I can. Since you ain't feeling that, then you better get your hat now. My name is Jenessa Nelson. I was with a band for 7 years, and I recently retired from that, well, about a year ago, and it was the Henry Turner Jr. and Flavor Band. I have had a chance to be on stage with Kenny Neal, Carlos Ditta, who's out of New Orleans, Smokehouse and Mamie Porter. They're the king and queen of gut bucket blues over in Baton Rouge. So those are some of the people that I got a chance to sing with, which was great for me. Coming back to this town definitely had an impact on my music. I actually grew up in Los Angeles and returned to Port Allen in the year 2012 to become the caregiver of my mother, Betty Nelson. Her political journey began when she was a part of the Voters Registration League in the 40s and 50s. The first group in West Baton Rouge to go out and register people to vote. One of the reasons why I stayed in Port Allen after the death of my mother was to build a legacy, not only for my family, but also for the city for which I live in, Port Allen. I love Port Allen, but it's important that we continue to do the work that has been done before us. And my mother always instilled in us to always work hard, get your education, be helpful to someone, and share your knowledge.
The Rural Roots of Music series started spontaneously, just as a way for us to reach out to our musician friends along the Mississippi River to see how they have been doing during this coronavirus season. People who I met over the years affiliated with the River Road African American Museum and the West Baton Rouge Musuem. I wanted to know how our musician friends were doing in New Orleans, in Bruley, Convent, in Donaldsonville, in Port Allen, and all of these small rural communities along the Mississippi River. I want to thank them all. We started off talking to jazz musicians, then we interviewed a few gospel musicians. We visited with the Neal family in the juke joint, talked a little bit about the blues, and we ended our series with Cajun and country music here at the West Baton Rouge Musuem. I'd like to thank the National Park Service in New Orleans for being a partner on this project with the West Baton Rouge Musuem and the River Road African American Museum. I hope you enjoy this series about music in South Louisiana.